Hello there, only one Kenobi here. Only one. Roll the intro.
Oh yeah, I just wanna open my figures. If I don't man, I get triggered, yeah. I just wanna open my figures. If I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna open my figures. I just wanna show you my figures. I just wanna know. I just wanna open my figures. If I don't mind, I get triggered, yeah. I wanna open my figures. If I just wanna show.
Hello there, so this is going to be a no frills video. Just want to open a couple of figures that I've had in my possession for a while, and I just saw this sort of little gap in the market for Yoda, funnily enough. So it's these two here. Look at this one. This is from the Entertainer. So funny. A lot of the figures were like this in the Entertainer because they came from Spain, or the word was they were from Europe. And they landed on the English shore, the UK shores, and low value, 3.75 figures, but they were going for £3.75, which is quite ironic, really. So there's this Yoda here, which I already have in my display, except that this Yoda I have in the backpack on Luke's back. So I want another one open to just have him standing there like that, because I think that's a really good Yoda figure there. Good facial sculpt. I think I had a conversation with Toy Polloy a while ago. He seemed to think that his favourite Yoda was the original 80s one. Which is fair enough, I never owned that, so I could never make a comparison. And then I've got this one here. See, what it is right here. I'll show you where the gaps are in a minute, but this is gap number one. So right here, I tried to accommodate and put every figure I own out. This is one that was from a job lot. This Yoda here, I think it came from that double pack. Do you remember the one with Sidious? Sidious wearing like the pink maroon gown that he wore.
I had been left scarred and deformed, but my resolve has never been stronger.
I think he came in a 2-pack. So it's a decent looking Yoda, but he's got no lightsaber. As I say, he came in one of those eBay job lots. And I just thought, well, fair enough, I can stick him in, because he does make an appearance. This is my Attack of the Clones shelf. Focus. So basically, at this point here, I've got a little bit of a depiction of the Battle of Kamino.
Bruh.
Scratch that, I beg your pardon, I mean the Battle of Geonosis. I mean, I could make more of a deal of this section of the movie. Is massive, the start of the Clone War. I've just got a few figures to give you a flavour of what went on. So I've got, Dooku facing off with Anakin there. I love that sequence, and also that figure, making use of him. He looks better looking that way because the facial sculpt ain't that good. He's got magnetic hands as well, that figure. So there you are, just to make use of all the figures I own. But this one, as I say, was a second-hand thing, so I don't really even want it on there, but I just wasn't wasting anything. But I tell you what would be a lot better, this one right here. I mean, let's have a look at him. He kind of looks like he could actually pass as an original trilogy Yoda, but he's got that lightsaber, and obviously the artwork there suggesting that he was more of the prequel era. So let's get him open. I want to get him open. I mean, look at that. There's no point in keeping that card. Look at the state of the packaging. Awesome. So let's do it, man. Oh, before we do it, let me go over here and show you what I've got going on. So there's there's the same Yoda there. He's on his back. I do like the facial sculpt of that Yoda. It's really good. Could have been in the vintage collection. They could have packed him because it was in that TIE Fighter line, as you know. All those figures could have been vintage. So makes you wonder what card they would have used. Maybe a repeat of this, or even this. And then that's all I want to say about that, except for this R2 here. It's too good to not have him on the shelf. I did have him in Poe Dameron's X-Wing, but you can't see the body and how good it is. Now, I'd sooner have that R2 here in the kind of the Tatooine New Hope sort of section, should we say, but I couldn't find anywhere to put him, so Luke was all on his own, and I thought, well, Luke is with R2 on Dagobah, so I put him there, and it's not a million miles away from how R2 would have looked, dirtied and weathered and muddy or whatever. So actually, it's nice. It sets off. It's like art, isn't it? The little bit of blue of R2 sets everything off there. It's nice. Sort of echoes the feel and tone of that part of the movie, so that's pretty cool. Just thought I'd tell you that. And I think it's time I open these guys. Let's do it. Boom. Alright, so I ain't got no... I haven't got a camera stand, so I've just got the camera leaning there. I just thought I'd open it on camera for you. I have got another use as well for this backpack. See the blue backpack? I've got a Power of the Force 2 figure over there. You might have seen it of Luke. Power of the Force 2 with Luke with the vest. So I'm thinking about putting that on his back. See what it looks like. Alright, there's the accessories, little cane. Sorry about the focus, can't really do much about it. I'm just going to open them. There you are. He's cool, man, look at that. Let me see if I can focus that for you. Whoa! Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll just get him on the shelf and then you'll see him. And then there's this one here. Oh yeah! I hope this isn't valuable now. I don't think so. I got it for nothing. Where did I get it? Home bargain. £1.99 or something like that. It sat on the shelf, so I thought, well, why not? Nice. I mean, he would go anywhere. This figure here would go in your Attack of the Clones collection, in your Revenge of the Sith. And if you could just lose the saber, you could have him in an Empire Strikes Back diorama. Because he's got that look, hasn't he? I'm going to spend a bit more time looking at this one. Alright, bear with me. Let's have a look at him. No, it's got more of a prequel look, that, hasn't it? Look at the eyes. The only excuse they've got for how different Yoda looks between CGI and puppetry is 20 years or 19 years between the sagas, you know, the prequels and sequels, because they did well. I think when I was when I first saw Attack of the Clones, that's the first time they did a CGI Yoda. Then they went back and did the Phantom Menace. But when I first saw that CGI Yoda, I appreciated it. You know, it's obviously not as real as a puppet, but I could see what they were doing with the texture and the creases in his face. It was more accurate than, say, that first puppet, which was a little bit weird. You could say it was like a young-looking Yoda, but he was still a bit weird-looking. A younger version, obviously, but still. So there you are. Let's get them on the shelf and I'll show you what they look like in their new home. Boom. So first things first, I want to show you this Power of the Force 2 Luke. I mean, if I really had my choice, I wouldn't really have any Power of the Force on the shelf because it's really past its best, you know. It's no good no more, but I just had it because I wanted to just get figures old and new in my displays. He looks a hell of a lot better now. He's got that on his back. So Yoda would have hopped out. He's obviously got his lightsaber there. I used to just think that this figure, I always wanted this. When they were bringing back the figure lines back in about 95, 97. So I just thought, just for nostalgia, I just have it in the background because I've got that other Yoda there, you see. That's a good figure. So here he is. I've got this Yoda. There's no peg holes on him, so I've just got a wad of blue tack under there, but nice. I've got him holding his cane. Just sort of sets it off there. So you've got the Battle of Hoth. It blends into this. You've got the Bespin activity here, right down the middle. I've got Luke in his training and his journey, the B story, A story, whatever you want to call it. Let's go over here. I have to say goodbye to this guy now. I'll keep him. You never know. He could be recarded or something. Who knows? Put in another display somewhere. But there's this Yoda now. He also does not have any. I tell you a lie. He does have peg holes. He's got one, but it's not very deep. So I just got him standing, and he sort of like tips forward a little bit. But I've got the cane in his hand. I'll sort him out. I just wanted to show you what he looked like. There he is. Of course, he does play a bigger part than Nailing Dooku. He also directs these guys. Master Yoda, all forward things are advancing. Very good. Very good. So I want him near. It's not Cody, but the yellow commander, definitely. And Mace. You know, nice. Just sort of works. Much better than the other. Thank you very much for joining me for that one. I hope you have enjoyed it. Back TVC. Save 3.75. Fight for the line. Awesome. This has been Only One Kenobi. Only one. Out. Oh, last bit now. What am I thinking? I have got a place for this guy right there. So I haven't left him out. He's back with us. Why not? Right by Gree and Meru and the Wookiees.
Good relations he has with the Wookiees.
Boom. Out.